officer from Sussex, England. Let's look at the next image, image number 12. And what I want you to keep in mind when looking at these images of the police, take a look in their faces. The camera really captures the essence of the being in these cases. Look at the eyes, which they say are windows to the soul. These are some of the most fear-filled individuals that you will ever see in your life. You could just intuitively sense it. You can just see that these people are just totally fearful. I mean, look at image number 12 and 13, where we see the further usage of the hypercube, the double square, and the octagon. In conjunction, in image number 13, with the floor of the house wrapped around the brain. And just take a look at the expressions on the faces of these police. It's like children. These are beings who never psychologically grew up. They never emotionally grew up, and they certainly never spiritually grew up. And you know what? I feel that I do have the right to say that. I know what being grown up or raised is in those capacities. And when people are being used to usurp my rights and other people's rights, yeah, I do have the right to say that they are spiritually, psychologically, and mentally broken. And let's look at the word broken as an example. What does it mean to be broken? Well, it means something doesn't really work right anymore. It means it's fragmented in pieces. It's not whole. It is no longer one. But more than that, the word broken is what we use when we refer to breaking an animal, breaking the will of an animal so that it obeys unquestioningly. These people are broken in every one of these aspects. Their will to resist is broken. They obey unquestioningly. They're broken people. The mind is broken through fear and trauma. And they're definitely not whole individuals. And that's why the symbol, their mark, is being put on them. The mark of the dark occultist is being placed on the head. On the head. Does this sound familiar to any people who may be familiar with some of the prophecies in Revelation? They'll put their mark upon you. The mark of the beast, of the dark occult, of mind control. These are the beast men who are undeveloped in thought, emotion, and action. Oh, they're developed in action, all right, just not right action. Back to image number 12 quickly. We see the hypercube used in conjunction with the Sussex police logo once again right on the forehead of this British cop. Image 13 showing it in conjunction on the forehead, on the hat of Sussex police with the checkerboard floor of the house wrapped around the brain. Image 14 shows American police. More usage of the hypercube. Their hats are 8-cornered hats. And on top of the crown chakra is being placed the black octagon. This is an actual photo of a police hat from the front and from the top. And there you see it. The octagon, the hypercube, the tesseract. The symbol of mind control. And where is it placed? Right on top of the crown chakra. The highest point of energy at the top of the head, which is supposed to represent unity consciousness, the coming together of the left and right brain hemispheres, where the Kundalini energy rises and eventually outpours and outflows to make a deeper connection to the oneness of the universe. But instead it's blocked. See, this is Stargate symbolism, but it's closed Stargate symbolism. The third eye, the real Stargate that opens up the crown chakra eventually, is closed. It's closed by a black door, a gate, gated shut and locked and sealed with the symbol of mind control. The occultists know exactly what they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, exactly what they're doing. And it's targeted. And it's directed toward people who are know-nothings. Know-nothings. And I'm not afraid to say it openly like that. These people know nothing of who owns them. Zero. And like I've said on previous shows, they have what I call negative knowledge. The concept of negative knowledge. Not only are you a complete know-nothing, you're attached to all kinds of erroneous beliefs and ideas that you've been sold and that you've bought. You've bought it wholesale. The double square in image number 15 in a commando unit, 2nd Commando Unit of the Armed Forces. With the blade, another phallic symbol. And there the double square. The patch of U.S. Army Special Forces, shown in image number 16, is octagonal, as are many military badges and patches. Image 17 is one of the darkest occult symbols that I know of, having combined so many different dark occult symbols into one emblem, the Military Medal of Valor, which is given ostensibly to the people that show and display bravery above and beyond the call of duty. However, this symbol has so many occult symbols I don't know where to begin. The inverted pentagram, inside of which is the goddess of care. Inside the inverted pentagram, which we talked about these symbols, the symbol of the goddess representing the sacred feminine, named after the dove, Columbia. It is Isis, it is Mary, it is Semiramis. It is the dove of the symbol of the sacred feminine, of true care, placed inside the inverted pentagram with, again, the 4 points upward representing earth, air, water, and fire, the material world, and then the 5th element thrust downward, the spiritual nature of man. 2 points upward representing the horns of the goat, and duality, us versus them thinking, dual consciousness, divided consciousness, raised above the 3, the Trinity, thought, emotion, and action. Father, mother, and child. But above, on the ribbon, we see the 13 stars in the configuration of, surprise, the double square, one on top of another. Inside of which it is inside the octagon that forms the backing of the medal, where the ribbon is at. And the ribbon is folded into a pyramid with the capstone missing. Or the symbol of Satanism, which is the trapezoid. Yes, the inverted pentagram with the goat's head is one of the sigils or emblems of Satanism, but its actual archetypal form, which if you read into the works of Satanism, you will discover is the case, their actual form or shape that represents the whole ideology of Satanism, the satanic ideology and way of being in the world, is represented by the trapezoid. So this symbol is laden. The Military Medal of Valor is laden throughout with occult symbolism, dark occult symbolism at that. Look at the cage fighting sport. Okay? Inside the octagon, the cage, the prison. And we put 2 prisoners inside the prison and let them go to work murdering each other. One of the sports that damages the human brain far beyond any other. You think you have a fully working, healthy neocortex participating in stuff like this? You clearly can't care too much about your brain. Believe me, I don't want any physical altercation unless I need to defend my life. And then it's going to be done in a way that is as precision as possible, if you know what I mean. But getting in a cage and fighting another slave in the world for some sick notion of glory is just out of control male ego. And yeah, I understand there's a strategy to it and everything. I get all of that. But it's really just trying to say, I'm in control of you. Inside the symbol of control, the octagon. We'll look at the last couple of symbols and then we'll go to the phones after we come back. We'll be right back, folks. You're listening to What on Earth is Happening. Okay, folks, we're back on What on Earth is Happening. This is the last segment. I'm going to quickly go through the last 4 images on the radio show page. Images for today's show at whatonearthishappening.com, and then I'm going to take a couple of calls to take us out. Image number 19. Security systems constantly use the symbol of the octagon, again, representing lockdown or control. And again, it's connected with the dynamic of fear. Be fearful. You need this. You need our protection. It says it all in the first image in the upper left-hand corner. I like that one the best. It's a little image of a prisoner behind bars in the middle of the octagon, because that's what the symbol ultimately is all about. Keeping us contained.